Subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss another video of Bhakti Charu Swami.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Deving Sarasating Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirai Nashtuprayeshu Abhadreshu Nittang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, Chapter 14, text 10 onwards. On the board we have text, I think, 20. Yeah. So, from 10 to 19 there is no purport. So, I'll just read the translation through. Text 10 onwards. Sukadeva Goswami continued. By Brihaspati's order, Tara, who was very much ashamed, immediately gave birth to the child, who was very beautiful with a golden bodily hue. Both Brihaspati and the moon god Soma desired the beautiful child. Fighting again broke out between Brihaspati and the moon god, both of whom claimed, "This is my child, not yours." All the saints and demigod present asked Tara whose child the newborn baby actually was. But because she was ashamed, she could not immediately answer. The child then became very angry and demanded that his mother immediately tell the truth. "You unchaste woman," he said, "what is the use of your unnecessary shame? Why do you not admit your fault? Immediately tell me about your faulty behavior." Lord Brahma then brought Tara to a secluded place, and after pacifying her, he asked to whom the child actually belonged. She replied very slowly, "This is the son of Soma, the moon god." Then the moon god immediately took charge of the child. O Maharaj Parikshit, when Lord Brahma saw that the child was deeply intelligent, he gave the child name Buddha. The moon god, the ruler of the stars, enjoyed great jubilation because of the son. Thereafter from Buddha through the womb of Ila, a son was born named Pururava, who was described in the beginning of the 9th canto. When his beauty, personal qualities, magnanimity, behavior, wealth and power were described by Narad in the court of Lord Indra, the celestial woman Urvashi was attracted to him. Pierced by the arrows of Cupid, she thus approached him. Having been cursed by Mitra and Varuna, the celestial woman Urvashi had acquired the habit of a human being. Therefore, upon seeing Pururava, the best of males, whose beauty resembled that of Cupid, she controlled herself and then approached him. When King Pururava saw Urvashi, his eyes became jubilant in the ecstasy of joy, and the hairs on his body stood on end. With mild, pleasing words, he spoke to her as follows. So now we are coming to the text 90. No, okay, this goes. King Pururava said, "O most beautiful woman, you are welcome. Please sit here and tell me what I can do for you. You may enjoy with me as long as you desire. Let us pass our life happily in a sexual relationship." Text 20. Urvashi Ubacha Kashas Tvayi Na Sajjeta Mano Drishtish Cha Sundara Jad Angantaram Asadya Chavate Ha Rirangshaya. Urvashi Ubacha. Urvashi replied, Kashyaha, of which woman, Twayi, unto you, Na, not, Sajjeta, would become attracted, Manaha, the mind, Drishtischa, the and sight, Sundara, O most beautiful man, Jad Angantaram, whose chest, Asadya, enjoying, Chavate, gives up, Ha, indeed, Rirangshaya, for sexual enjoyment. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Urvashi replied, O most handsome man, who is the woman whose mind and sight would not be attracted by you? If a woman takes shelter of your chest, she cannot refuse to enjoy with you in a sexual relationship. Please repeat after me. Urvashi replied, O most handsome man, who is the woman whose mind and sight would not be attracted by you? If a woman takes shelter of your chest, she cannot refuse to enjoy with you in a sexual relationship. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When a beautiful man and a beautiful woman unite together and embrace one another, how within these three worlds can they check their sexual relationship? Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam 7:9-45 says, Jan maithunadi grihamedhi sukham hitucham. Short purport. Okay. Om ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militang jena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Shri chaitanya manobhishthang sthapitang jena bhutale swayam rupa kadamaiham dadati swapadantikam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Urvashi Ubacha Kashas Tvaina Sajjeta Mano Drishtischa Sundara Jad angantaramadya chavateha rirangshaya. Urvashi replied, O most handsome man, who is the woman whose mind and sight would not be attracted by you? If a woman takes shelter of your chest, she cannot refuse to enjoy with you in a sexual relationship. So, the history. These are not just some stories. They're factual happenings. It happened long, long time ago, practically at the beginning of creation. And we are getting the family line from Brahma came Atri. As we know, like the first 4 sons of Brahma didn't want to get involved in the materialistic activities of procreation. Brahma's business actually is to fill up the universe. Fill up the universe by giving different living entities appropriate bodies. Now, when his sons, first 4 sons, refused to assist him in his mission, Brahma became angry. But at the same time, Brahma considered that if he gets angry, then these children would be destroyed. He is such a powerful person. His anger would immediately destroy. So Brahma controlled his anger. And his anger came out from between his eyes in the form of Rudra, incarnation of Lord Shiva. And then these 4 children, they're the 4 Kumaras, those who accepted the life of becoming absorbed in transcendental reality. They didn't want to get involved in the material nature. They saw the defects of materialistic involvement. Then Brahma created 10 more sons. Now here we have to consider that all these children that Brahma is creating, he is creating them from his mind. Manasa Putras. He is such a powerful person that from his mind he could actually procreate children, meaning giving spirit souls their bodies. So these 10 sons of Brahma are Pulasta, Pulaha, Atri, Marichi, Angira, Vasishtha, Daksha, and the youngest one is Narad. So all 9 sons now became involved in Brahma's business of filling up the universe with living entities. They got involved in procreation, and the youngest one, Narad, he also was like his other 4 elder brothers. He also says, nothing doing with this mundane world. I don't want to get involved. But Brahma didn't mind. He said, okay, fine, the youngest one, if he is like that, right? So Brahma accepted that. And Atri now gave birth to Soma, moon god. Then from moon god came Buddha, another beautiful son. And then from Buddha came Pururava, a very powerful king. So we have to remember that these are the royal lineage, the line of the kings. One line comes from sun god, Surya Vamsa, and the other line is Chandra Vamsa, coming from moon god, Somdev. And here is described Pururava was so powerful and so handsome, endowed with so many wonderful qualities, that Narad Muni started to speak about him in the assembly of the demigods, in the court of Indra. And Urvashi, the celestial damsel, another extremely beautiful woman, she became, just by hearing about Pururava, she became attracted to Pururava. And she wanted to meet him and enjoy with him. So material nature is like that. Women are attracted to handsome, powerful, qualified men, and men are attracted to beautiful women. And Prabhupada is pointing out, John in the 7th canto, 9th chapter, text 45, is actually speaking about the condition of this material nature. Jan Maithunadi Grihomedhi creation. Here we also have to consider that the purpose of this was actually procreation. The need for a man and a woman, or a male and female, to become united is simply for the sake of procreation. And Prabhupada pointed out that even the animals, they unite for procreation. So what to speak of human beings? But when it is just for the sake of sense pleasure, that is even lower than animals' activity. The individuals who indulge in themselves in these acts, other than procreation, is even worse than animals, because the animals also don't unite without that basic objective. Now here, in the purport, Prabhupada is actually pointing out that how within these three worlds can they check their sexual relationship. The thing that we have to note here is the three worlds, upper, middle and lower planetary systems, meaning this material nature. Although in the material nature one cannot control this urge, but when one becomes spiritually situated, then he can control. The only way to conquer this urge is by becoming situated in the spiritual platform. Or on the other hand, we can say that when one becomes situated in the spiritual platform, he naturally becomes disinterested in these acts. And that's why to enter into the spiritual platform, to become properly situated in the spiritual platform, one has to conquer sex desire. Even the Mayavadis, those who are planning, those who are desiring to merge in Brahma Jyoti, even they conquer their sex desire, although they may not succeed most of the times. There are so many such examples. Vishwamitra was performing austerities for 64,000 years. And then just he happened to hear the ankle bell of Menoka, another celestial damsel, Apsara. Heavenly planet has these beautiful women, and so Indra sent Menoka, and all his senses were withdrawn. Like meditation or yoga has this aspect called pratyahar, when the senses are withdrawn, and then only one is able to meditate. So in order to meditate, one has to withdraw his senses from external projection. Otherwise, the senses are running towards the objects of the senses. Dhayate vishayan pungsha. The senses are running to the objects of the senses, vishaya. So that is the natural materialistic tendency. But if one wants to meditate properly, then he has to withdraw his senses. Then only he will be able to meditate, meaning project his consciousness internally to perceive the Lord in the heart. And so Vishwamitra's senses were naturally withdrawn. He was practically performing austerities for so many thousands of years. But the only thing that couldn't close are the ears. And the sound entered through the ears. Just the sound, that also of the ankle bells of Urvashi. She was dancing, trying to entice him. And his eyes opened, saw her, and that was the end of his 64,000 years of austerities. And the result was Shakuntala. Another celestial beauty. On the other hand, we see the devotees. A classic example actually is Haridas Thakur. Mayadevi herself came to entice him. He was totally unperturbed. Oh, okay, but you see, I have to finish my rounds. And the night was over. 3 nights she came. And prior to that also a similar kind of thing happened with Lakshahira, a very beautiful prostitute that the landlord of that place appointed to make him fall down. So finally, after the 3rd day, she actually, just by hearing him chanting the holy name, her consciousness became purified. She admitted, look, actually I came on the arrangement of this Ramchandra Khan to make you fall down. Haridas Thakur said, yes, I knew that. And I would have left, but I stayed back in order to deliver you. He stayed there for 3 nights just to deliver, and she was completely transformed. And she was very wealthy. So Haridas Thakur told that, distribute your wealth to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and you just come here, sit in front of Tulasi plant, Tulasi Devi, and chant here day and night. And Haridas Thakur left that place. So here's the difference. After 64 years of 1,000 years of meditation, Vishwamitra fell down. Whereas Haridas Thakur was totally unperturbed. Another such wonderful example is also in that relationship actually. Arjun, for 1 year went to the heavenly planet. And Indra, he's Indra's son. So Indra made him sit next to him. And he was subjected to various entertainments. And he saw Urvashi. And he just kept on looking at her. And Indra thought that Arjun became attracted to Urvashi. So he made arrangements that Urvashi would spend time with Arjun. So she came at night. But the thing is, the reason Arjun was looking at Urvashi because he was remembering that she is actually his great-great-great-great-grandmother because coming from the same, Arjun is coming in the same line, the line of Pururava, the Moon dynasty. So, when Urvashi came and Arjun didn't entertain her or didn't accept her, rather, so Urvashi became upset. She was upset that here she failed to attract somebody with her beauty. And she cursed Arjun that you'll become impotent. You'll lose your gender for 1 year, which actually acted as a benediction. During that 1 year of incognito, the condition that they had in the game of dice, 12 years of exile in the forest, and 1 year they have to remain incognito. And if anybody could recognize any one of them, then that condition will repeat. Duryodhan and Shakuni, they considered that they are so famous that they won't be able to hide their identity. So, Arjun took advantage of that curse. So, for 1 year, he became an eunuch. And that year, he went to Drupad's palace, took the job of the dance teacher of Uttara, her daughter, his daughter. And Arjun was also a great dancer, because when he was in the heavenly planet, Indra arranged that he would learn to dance from the king, from the best celestial musician, an artist, dancer. So Arjun actually taught Uttara the dance. And this is how, see, here again we can see that Arjun was not perturbed by this base desire. And these are the natural characteristics of a devotee. How is a devotee able to conquer this most vulnerable appeal, most vulnerable onslaught? By getting the higher taste. Materialistic people, for them this is the highest sense pleasure. But for a devotee, he is enjoying the higher taste by being absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Developing one's loving relationship with Krishna is so wonderful. Recognizing that Krishna is the only enjoyer and we all are meant to provide for his enjoyment. A devotee becomes completely peaceful internally. And along with that comes also that higher taste. When the heart becomes filled with joy, with a superior sort of enjoyment, then naturally one becomes rather unperturbed. And this particular verse is actually giving a very nice understanding of that. Let me see. 7th canto, chapter 9. This is in the purport Prabhupada actually mentioning. I'm not going to the details of that. Prabhupada is pointing out in the purport that how this material nature actually is a prison house of sex desire. That particular verse is actually mentioning that. Jan moithunadi grihamedhi tucham. And Prabhupada is actually pointing out who are attracted to this kind of appeal, sex appeal. Grihamedhis. Those who are situated at home but whose consciousness is in their household situations. Therefore, they are simply interested in mundane enjoyment. Jai Shri Gaurnitai ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Raj Bihari ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, in reference, actually, I'm just going to one part of the purport which is very relevant in this context. In reference to the low-grade happiness of sex life, Yamunacharya says in this connection, Jadavadhi mamocheta Krishna padara vinde Navanava raso dhamanuddata rantum ashit Tadavadhi bato nari sangame smarjamane bhavanti mukho vikaro shushtu nishthivanam cha. Since I have been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna, realizing ever new pleasure in Him, whenever I think of sex pleasure, I spit at the thought and my lips curl with distaste. Jamunacharya had formerly been a great king who enjoyed sexual happiness in various ways, but since he later engaged himself in service of the Lord, he enjoyed spiritual bliss and hated to think of sex life. If sexual thoughts came to him, he would spit with disgust at the thought. So that is the condition of a devotee. Jadavadhi mamacheta Krishna padara vinde. Ever since my chitta, mamacheta, my heart, has been engaged at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jadavadhi mamacheta Krishna padara vinde. Nava nava raso dhamanuddata rantamashi. I'm experiencing newer and newer joy, newer and newer pleasure, transcendental pleasure. So that is the meaning of getting the higher taste and losing all interest in lower taste. Somewhere Prabhupada gave the example. When you are extremely hungry, when you don't have anything to eat, you will eat whatever comes on your way, no matter how rotten it may be. But when you have a nice plate of Mahaprasad, then will you even look at the rotten food stuff? No. So that is the meaning of the higher taste. So, we are so fortunate that by Prabhupada's divine mercy, we found Krishna consciousness. We got the access to this most wonderful spiritual activity. And this activity is so wonderful that we so easily overcome the materialistic urges. On the other hand, we can see the battles have been fought for this simple sex life. Helen of Troy, right? Homer's Iliad. What is? The Paris, the prince of Troy, went to the kingdom of Greece, King Agamemnon, and there he came across Agamemnon's wife, Helen. She was a celebrated beauty. He fell in love and they eloped. And as a result of that, a battle was fought. The entire family was wiped out. The entire kingdom was lost. So this is how dangerous it can be. like this appeal can lead to such situation that the battles are fought and kingdoms are destroyed. Thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people are killed. Whereas a devotee, because he got the higher taste, because he has transcended the bodily platform and become situated in a spiritual identity, even in a practicing stage, he can overcome these urges. So he found this most wonderful process, and let us take full advantage of this process. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Does anybody have any question or comment? Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Glories to Srila Prabhupada.